just mistakenly become great at something. You probably at one time or another believe that you can be great at that. And then you work to get great at that, and you reach that greatness.
This is the West, where living life is a test. The quest is to be the best, a cut above all the rest, yes. So who's on in it for the war stories? Combat, boom, bap, two straps, click, clack, bring it back. All of the above, Dazzie Dee, Dubb, West Wit It, yeah, we with it. Show the coast, love with it, get it. Sit back, sip and blow, it's not your ordinary show. We dig deep into the music, it's a science, how we do it. How we about to teach the class, future, present, and the past. Make it last, hit a smash to our success, raise your glass. Raise your glass. So let's begin, it started off with a win. To fans, family, and friends, that's how we get it. West Wit It.
Yo. Welcome to the West Wit It Show with your host, Don Dubb, and your boy, Dazzie Dee. We
West Wit It.
building.
Yes.
How you doing today, good sir?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed, man. This is our first show. You know, I'm blessed. I'm excited, homie.
Yeah, we gonna kick this thing off, man. I'm excited to be able to finally put it together. I know we've been talking about it for a minute. I think
Yes,
we figured it out, kind of dialed in our own vibes and make sure we present. You know, we got plans, bro, and I think the way we articulate and communicate just in our private conversations, I think is dope, and we're just gonna bring that to the world.
yes,
Not to start
yes, sir.
another podcast, but to give it some flavor out here on the coast, man. Um,
That's with it.
you know what I'm saying? That's West with it for sure. Hey, while y'all in here, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you follow us, man, at the Real Don Dub on Instagram, and Dazzie D is at Dazzie.og, which he absolutely is. And then also subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel because we can't bring you this dope content without subscribers. Um, it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a journey, man, and we're excited to have y'all along with us. Um, One of the first things I think we're gonna tap into because we West bred, so we're gonna tap into what's going on right now. Your man YG
hmm
dropped a song called 2004. You check that out?
Yeah, yes, sir, man. I peeped it. I actually peeped it when it first dropped. I got a notification that it
Yeah,
dropped. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
But
Yeah,
my I've had other conversations, and I'm just what we doing is bringing our conversations to the forefront. But I've had other conversations you and I haven't talked about it yet. But
hmm
I'll throw my hat in the ring first, man. Is that um, I personally appreciated the track, and I'm gonna tell you
yes,
why.
sir.
Is because there's a narrative that it's kind of weird when a man says he's been sexually abused by a woman, man. Like
Yes, sir.
just
Yeah,
socially, people just kind of
yeah,
look at you like, what? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But if it
yeah,
was a woman, if YG was a woman, there'd be a whole rally of support with no question, right? Like you couldn't even question what happened. It would just be automatic support. I'm seeing
yeah.
mixed conversation about, is this true story? Did this really happen to him? If so, how come he just now saying something? So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about the track? What do you think about what he's doing?
I mean, I think he definitely tapped into something, man. That, like you said, a lot of cats is not even willing to tap into, homie.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Whether because as I can relate, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like when I
yeah,
was maybe about 8 or 9, the same thing happened to me, homie. It was a babysitter though.
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
homie. So,
Yeah, yeah,
it is what it is. I didn't, at
oh,
first, I mean, it was kind of the stigma where it was kind of, once I got of age, about 12, 13, when the bragging rights started to kick in,
yeah,
I was bragging about it, you know what I'm
right,
saying? But as a grown man, thought back like, man, that it was kind of foul, homie, you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So, to have that brother bring it to the forefront, man, and have enough strength and
hmm
and mental strength to do it, I salute the dude for it, bro.
yeah, yeah. Hats off, man. Hats off to YG. Hope. I think that's appropriate. The other thing that I wanted to kind of say, do you think that him being able to do that track? Do you think that's a result of the work of Kendrick Lamar? Like how vulnerable he's been in his music and kind of starting that wave of having honest conversation about, breaking down stigmas that are around the male persona, the masculine persona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think really though, we could probably go back to even Nip, rest in peace, man. I
Mhm.
think Nip kind of opened the door for that too.
Okay.
I think Kendrick ran with it though,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, he gave enough, he gave Cass enough, you know,
Yeah.
to go on to tell a story, homie.
Yeah. And still be, he did it in his way, still cool, still,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doing it
yeah,
in
yeah.
like a corny way. He
You know
couldn't.
what? It wasn't nothing like, feel sorry for me. He just said, this what happened.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, 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 right,
And,
right.
and that's what made me think about mine. It's like, yeah, that's what happened. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's what it
Wow.
is. That's dope though.
Wow. Yeah, so shout out to YG, man. I'm looking forward to more music and more growth. I think this is growth for YG, Um,
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to this new album. If this is a sign of what to tell, you know what I'm saying? Maybe
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
the album where he grows and kind of open up some more, and it's not just a typical YG.
yeah, yeah. It also sounds lyrically too that he done, you know what I'm saying? He's
Sharpen
showing his
that
little more
pen. I
versatility.
know. We serious about that pen. I know you for
Yeah,
not,
yeah, man.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, man. Hey, I feel on the West, I
Yeah.
consider myself part of that elite club, brother. So I be,
Yeah. So for you
yeah,
to say that, I know. Okay, if he perked your ears, it's like okay. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for the follow up to see what he do. Let's see what he come behind this with.
that
And hopefully
part,
it's on the level. You know what I'm saying?
that part.
Um, yeah, we gonna switch gears a little bit though, man. This Drake lawsuit. So I know, we gonna dibble into the battle because they didn't beat that to death, and I don't want to have a
Hmm.
conversation about the battle. We know
Hmm.
why Drake is suing UMG in terms
Hmm.
of the perceived loss to Kendrick Lamar in terms of notoriety and critically acclaim and just momentum career wise, right? But
Hmm.
then he would go on to sue Universal Music Group, claiming that the only reason No Not Like Us is as popular as it is because Kendrick used UMG's bot system, right? And
Yeah.
so he used that angle to get into the details of Kendrick's lawsuit, right?
Hmm.
And for a minute, even at the Grammys, you saw Lucien Grange high fiving Dre in the crowd when Kendrick was clearing the house with all the categories. You know what I'm saying? It was a
Yeah.
clean
Yeah.
sweep. And so UMG looked like they was fighting this lawsuit up until he got the contract. The judge agreed to allow him to review the contracts. And
Hmm.
then news was announced shortly after that UMG was looking to settle out of court for 250 million.
Yes, sir.
So if we looking at this like chess, is that
Yeah.
a sign of them saying we don't want this fraudulent pieces of this system exposed through this lawsuit, so we'll just settle out? Because once they settle, it's hush hush after that, right? Like
Yeah.
you accept that money, that means we ain't litigating no more. Like it's over with. You took this money, we ain't even gonna talk about it no more. So do you think that that's a sign that they didn't want something else revealed in terms of how this system is ran with DSPs?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, brother. Doing that, when you point the finger, you got two pointing back at you. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So it's man, that's a tricky one, homie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people felt that way with Drake. With
Mhm.
his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah.
music wasn't loved like that by all. It took a major push for
Yeah.
that to happen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that might be that. You feel me? But I
Mhm.
mean, besides that though, I'm a little nervous about it because what you don't want is you don't want it's like the streets, right? It's like, and I hate to say this, but it's like when you get into it with a family member or your girl,
Right.
the last thing you want, barring that, you ain't doing nothing, detrimental like putting hands, but just to have an argument, y'all done got loud or whatever. The last thing y'all want is the police to come knocking on your door because now that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? And I
Yeah.
feel that way with Drake trying to open up some stuff that should have stayed in the house, basically on the streets. It was a diss. You dissed, he got you. Let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
last thing you want, homie, is corporations and the powers that be to
Yeah.
start really dictating what
Mhm.
we do as a culture, homie. That's
Right.
what's making me the most nervous,
Right.
bro.
Right. Right. So I think it you lose the battle seemingly. I mean, it is what it is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick was masterful in his strategy and the songs he released, the timing, the content of
Yeah.
the songs, masterful. You know what I'm saying?
But you
Uh,
know what's funny about that though, Dub, and
yeah.
this is how masterful he was, homie. And a lot of people didn't pay attention to this, right?
Mhm.
When the diss was going on and the first couple records were dropped by both,
Yeah.
this was Drake fans use this as a like reason why he's winning. Oh, Drake making diss records that can go into the club and people
Right.
dancing off his
Right.
diss records.
Right.
That's why he winning. And I guarantee you, Kendrick heard that, bro, and said, okay, is that how we doing it? And went
Mhm.
in there and made Not Like Us, bro. You
Right,
know what
right,
I'm saying? That
right.
because it had the clubs going,
It did. It still
right?
does. They
And it
played Not
still
Like
does.
Us at 1500 Academy, Music Academy. My son graduated. That's the first track they put on once they finished accepting their degrees
That
and
part.
everything. So
That
it's a celebratory track culturally, right? And it
that
probably
part.
gonna be around for a very long time. Similar
That part.
to Quick, um, you know, that song was right up there. It had the same playability. You know what I'm saying? In terms of
Yeah.
it's a dope beat, it's a funky song, and you could play it at the party, but it's a diss, right?
Yeah.
Um, but my point to that with him, the way he would chefed it up during the battle was that we come from the communities we come from. You can't get into a fight and then turn around and complain, after you get your ass whooped.
That part right there. That's what I'm
You know what
saying.
I'm saying?
Especially going to the police with it,
Right.
homie. That's like going to the police
You
with it,
going to the
bro.
boys? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
You know what I'm saying?
um, I felt like just UMG offering to settle out of court was them protecting um, aspects of
Yeah.
their infrastructure that they didn't want to expose. They didn't want nobody digging through some of that stuff, whether it's
Yeah.
illicit or fraudulent or not. I can't say because I never seen it. Right? We know what we battling with is independence on these
Yeah.
DSPs and these aggregators. We already know how they playing ball, but
Yeah.
to see, to absolutely just say it's UMG and they using bots and all this other stuff would mean that Spotify would have to look at all the UMG artists and start removing stuff if
Yeah.
that gets exposed, right? And that just tears down the full business model as has been,
Yeah.
stood up
That
on
part.
the streaming thing, right? So they
That
absolutely cannot. So $250 million is a small nibble. It's a small
yeah.
tax to pay to keep that
Yeah.
behind the curtain, if you will. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
I look.
I mean, because basically, I feel like the same machine. But everybody said this, so I agree. The same machine that you crying about, you
He been
benefited from.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%,
you know
100%.
what I'm saying.
That almost makes it even worse. You know what I'm saying?
That
You've
part.
been benefiting for a long time off of it, and then because he
That,
figured it out,
that part.
was able to use
Yeah,
it. Now he won basically using the same thing. Now you got a problem with it. So yeah,
yeah. Like
I think that
like you said, you the one who did all the woofing and then got beat up, and then you the one called the police, but you was woofing. You know
right.
what
How
I'm
how does that work? How that work?
saying? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you see the mass appeal announcement?
Yeah, you know what? After my buddy Don Dub put me on, yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
man. Look, and I'm hearing that there's going to be some adjustments to that rollout. So, but
Okay.
even I haven't heard that anything was false in terms of the artists that they said was rolling out. I just think it's the timeline that's going to change.
Okay.
The dates that were originally announced and the order that it was announced in, I think is going to change, right? But
Okay.
we could basically look forward to artists like Big L. An album from Big L is crazy. Slick
That's
Rick,
that.
Ghostface Killer, Mobb Deep, Nas,
That's
and DJ Premier, dog. So
yeah,
DJ
homie.
Premier produced a whole Nas album. That's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna
Uh,
be bananas, bro.
right?
That's a
De La,
dream come
De La
true.
Soul and Raekwon.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a dream come true, bro.
yeah, if they pull that off, I think that should bring the New York back in terms of
Mm,
just like the vibe. If all them albums is what I think they could be, New York
yeah,
could be making some noise going
yeah,
into this year, coming out going into 26. Um,
yeah.
what's your thoughts on it, man? I know we
I
ain't
think it's gonna be
music, we ain't,
monster, bro.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's gonna be I think for the simple fact that Mass Appeal really they're tuned in with the culture, homie.
Sure.
And that's
Yeah,
what make Mass Appeal dope. Like, I don't think they're gonna let nothing slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, they built their whole foundation off producers coming in cooking, right?
yeah,
So I can't see them not having all the major players that then came in and not cook on that. If they
yeah.
got control of these albums, or at least say so, I
Right.
can't say them not going, okay, let's go get a Marco Polo, let's go get a Alchemist, let's go get a Ninth Wonder. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And get it done. That's
Get
what's gonna make
Havoc
it
and
monster.
all them
Homie.
cats. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's gonna be crazy, man. I'm
Yeah,
excited. I'm excited because um, I'm a huge Slick Rick fan. Nas,
yeah,
I love Nas. I just that's just one of the artists I keep in rotation. A Mob
yes,
Deep.
sir.
So if they got records from P and Havoc working together before P passed,
That's
and
dope.
with the Big L look, it's gonna be like vault records that they tighten up and get done. Posthumous records. So
That's
hopefully
dope.
that's done the right way and everything is in place and they come off, they go off like it's supposed to.
That's
We ain't heard
dope.
from De La in a while. And Raekwon, I think he just been touring. We ain't heard no new music though.
Okay,
So
that's dope.
that'd be dope to see and hear, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's dope.
so I think that that'd make them like the premier label on the East Coast. I mean, Def Jam
Oh
is
yeah,
Def Jam,
yeah,
but
yeah. They
you know what
represent,
I'm saying?
homie.
That's what I'm saying. They represent and they bringing that stuff back that people love to hear, and all these artists have that vibe and that swag. They ain't really gonna be on no
Yeah,
different
yes,
regional
sir.
sounding type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
gonna sound
yes,
like
sir.
New York. It's gonna feel like New York, and that's what I'm excited
Yes, sir. Yes,
about.
sir.
Let's get into the debate corner. Debate corner, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go, baby.
This is where you get fun at, man.
Yes, sir.
Um, I had some time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pose a question to you. Uh,
hmm
best hip hop posse record, dog. Uh,
Posse record.
and this could be a
Mm,
remix. This could be original record. It could have features, but it's the posse
mm,
cut, bro, where you got multiple cats just getting off. Maybe the joint ain't even got no hook, but it's one of them
mm,
runs. It's a hip hop record. Um,
mm.
what you feeling over there?
Well, being from the West, man, I gotta stay home because
Okay.
actually, I think one of the very first posse records I heard came from the West, right?
Mm,
Personally, I mean, I'm quite sure somebody will be in the comments and remind me,
yeah,
but if I'm wrong, but like Grand Finale, come on, man, I think that was really one that made me go, okay, the whole squad
yeah,
is on it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now, originality, I give it that, but I even like. I like the dopeness of what's the one on Cube?
Q.
Uh uh uh
There's a
what was the one?
It's a lynch mob record.
Yeah, no, it was a posse cut with Cube, my homie Deadly Threat, Dub C,
Oh,
Coolio.
Trap was like
Yeah,
supremely underrated, man.
yeah, that
I
record,
talked
homie.
to him before
That
Dude is
that
Hard.
Colorblind.
Colorblind. Okay, okay,
You know what I'm saying? Colorblind lyrically, Colorblind was probably my favorite, but I got to give up Grand Finale as far as being OG.
okay. All right, I can respect that. I'm gonna go with. I got 5 on it, man. The original record and the remix, because the remix expanded the
Ooh,
debate conversation, and you had
ooh,
E40, um, Richie
yeah,
Rich, the Loonies. Um, that thing went off. Spice One. I
yeah,
think that was
yeah,
one of the records, man. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't really have to flip the beat that much. They just cut the verses up. And
yeah,
still left the hook in there. So I like that record as a posse cut where they was just kind of like coming together as the Bay.
yeah,
And
yeah,
showing Looney's love and jumping on that record, and it's still everybody putting it out, and they did the video. So that was like
mm,
real love. You know how hard that is to do in this business, man. So um,
yeah,
I think that was a dope look. But it's just so many, dog.
yeah, yeah, man.
It's so many.
So
It's so many. It's
yeah,
a never ending debate. Depending on how the person feel, what area they come from.
yeah.
They like, you know what I'm saying?
High
High
power,
power.
Dre
Oh my
off the
God.
Chronic.
I
Ooh,
forgot about how could I forget that? Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. High power was
yeah, ooh, yeah,
I got goosebumps when you said that, dog.
ooh, man.
Man. Okay, so check this one out. Check this out. Best 3-album run.
Mm. Okay, well, all right. I can't, homie. I can't just give it one. I gotta give. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm let's go regional. I'm gonna go regional.
Okay, okay, okay.
I think for the West, Cube. I think Cube first 3 albums was
Okay.
incredible.
Okay. That's America's Most Wanted, uh
Death
Death
Certificate.
Certificate, and
Yeah. The one
and
with
Kill It
Wicked,
Will.
I think. Yeah.
Wicked.
Well, no, well, that was the EP. So I'll go EP then. Let's go, because I still a run. So let's
Yeah.
go America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate, and Kill It Will.
Okay.
I don't think nobody did a run like that,
Sure.
you know. So that's for the West. For
Hmm.
the East, that's a good one, man. For the East, uh man. I don't know. I think for the East, it was a few cats. I think Nas first 3 albums was dope. I
Okay.
think I think Gangstar first. You know who I'm gonna give it to? I'm gonna give it to Tribe Called Quest.
Ooh, I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
Tribe. I
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
even
they
thinking
first
Tribe, but
three
you're right.
albums. Yeah, I think they first 3 albums was incredible.
Uh,
Then let's go to the South.
mhm.
a tie. It's gonna have to be a tie, man. I think between Outkast and Scarface, man.
Oh,
Scarface. Yeah,
you ain't right. You ain't right.
yeah.
All right, for me, I'm gonna go Pac,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
and and I know that's controversial, but because he's that dude's West Coast, bro. But that's how
Yeah.
good he was. He could transition to both coasts. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh, I wasn't thinking regional, but I'm gonna go DMX uh, for
Okay.
my New York artist. I was
Okay.
thinking Jay, but the way X came
Yeah.
on the scene and dropped them 2 albums in 1 year, and they both was phenomenal. Um,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that just at that time it was unheard of, bro. He was so
Yeah. Yeah.
niggas just
Salute to
wasn't
Jay.
doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, salute to Jay, but I gotta give and X had the streets, bro. X when the
Yeah.
nigga came on growling and wearing the suspenders with no shirt and
Yeah,
the
homie.
clothes with no socks, I was like, oh, this cat raw. He was just
Yeah,
raw.
it's different dude. Yeah, different situation going on
Yeah,
with that
dropping
dude.
willies on the full quad and like it's just raw. You ain't
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah, that's what
saying?
I'm saying. He was a different dude. Like, even his from his artwork, with the
Yeah,
blood and everything, I was like, yeah, he a different dude, but
yeah,
it was raw, it was grimy, it was gritty.
like
So
doing
yeah.
something else. Yeah. And then for the South, and I like that you did a regional. I'm gonna give it to Ti, bro.
Yeah, homie.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a monster when he first started dry. Like he
that first
lost his
album
mind, homie.
series. Oh, I was
Yeah,
at a point, bro. I was like, oh, this is
yeah, he
crazy.
lost his mind, homie. He got to
Yeah,
drop it and just went
yeah,
banana.
yeah, yeah. So those are my picks, man.
Okay.
I current state of hip hop, bro. Current state of hip
Mhm.
hop. I think we in a good spot. I think
Mhm.
that we need to. I think artists need to realize the importance of putting value back in the art and the music, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's predicated by the streaming
yeah,
business model that we've been trying to figure out the last 20
yeah,
years. Like we've trying to figure this shit out. I don't think
yeah,
nobody's ever really had true success, right? Like you've had artists put in front of you and they've been told that they've had success, but it's obvious that they're not even happy with the current situation.
yeah.
Uh,
I feel that, bro. I
I think
feel
if
that.
artists put value back in the art, and then that allows the consumer to value the
Yeah,
art in a way, I think the artist wins and the supporter wins because now they own the art
yeah,
that they love, right? And the artist
yeah.
gets to really reap the benefits of that intellectual property and that hard work and
Yes,
dedication
sir.
you as an
Yes,
artist.
sir. I totally agree.
So uh, the state of hip hop is in a transition, in my opinion, where people are kind of waking
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I
Artists,
think people are just tired, man. I think
yeah,
people are tired of
20
you know
years, D. 20 years
settling.
we're trying to figure this streaming shit out. 20,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
long time to be trying to run
That's
around in circles and figure out what the next play is, bro.
you feel me? I think people just tired, man. I think there was a phase where you know almost anything went, but now it's so degrading the culture, man. And I'm not talking old, new, young. I don't care about that part of it. It's just that it's the value, the quality of music is degrading, homie. It's like, and I think people are getting tired of that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Let's dive into that a little bit more because I'm interested in that perspective or that thought.
yeah,
Um,
well, it's about it's still about your craft, man. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. You still got to be good at your craft, and you still
okay.
got to know all the moving parts, right? You just can't be a dope rapper and have terrible beats. You can't have
Hmm.
be a good rapper, have good beats, but terrible mixing. The sonics, it's like all of it got to come together these days, homie. And that's why things are degrading because nobody really cares anymore. They're just do man. I've seen so many producers getting on like we don't even master, we don't even man. It's just
That's
certain
crazy.
things you just gotta do, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
do them in
yeah.
order to keep things going. You want things to last forever. That's the
Uh,
whole point of music, right? Music is supposed to last forever, homie. You know what I'm saying? And things are so fly by night these days because it's the quality is degrading, no?
I agree to that, and I think the the root cause of that uh, is the way we that consumers or we digest music, right? Um,
Hmm.
even down to the formatting of songs has been adjusted or augmented because of streaming, right?
You're
So
right.
A typical song was 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes,
Three verses. Yeah,
3 verses, hook. Hey, man,
yeah,
they got songs out there that's 145 right now that's jamming,
yeah, homie.
right?
Look, intro, verse, hook, out.
Out, right? And I'm talking verse is an 8-bar verse with a pre-chorus going back into that next hook,
That
right?
part.
It's not even the structure that the
Yeah,
16 and the 8, right?
yeah.
It's not that technically. Um,
that-
this generation, and it's not an old and young thing, but they calling um long songs 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's long.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But
I'm gonna say something. It's gonna be controversial, Dub, but you
okay,
gotta
all
hear me, homie.
right. Okay, go.
You gotta hear me. Why I think music is garbage right now.
Okay.
Females. I think females don't give a damn about rap, what
Okay.
you're saying, how you're saying it,
Mm,
skill. Long as that beat make them shake their butt,
mhm.
they good, homie.
Let me
Right?
let me play devil's advocate on that one, dog. I looked up a lot of these big female songs that's popping or that blew up. And the interesting thing that was consistent between all of them, I'm talking from Megan to you name it.
Hmm.
uh, there's always a group or particular male writers
Hmm.
on the songs.
Yeah.
So in my mind, the females that we see that we talking about,
Hmm.
shout out to Rhapsody. Obviously, that you're not in this conversation, right? The
Hmm.
Rhapsodies of No Chill,
Rage. Yeah,
Rage,
rage in
like
that.
real
Yeah.
spitters that's keeping their clothes on, really just giving you the craft, right? But for
Mhm.
the ones that's not and using the other stuff to sell their records, there's male writers on these songs, so that the women that fall into that category are the projection of what we would like to see female artists be.
Yeah, but and that's the thing, though, brother. Because I'm not even talking. I mean, that's a great point. Because
Yeah,
that's exactly how I feel about female artists. But
right.
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about what makes a song popular. How
Okay,
songs get popular these days, right?
I got
Think about it. Think about it, Dub.
you.
Back in the day, it even affected us. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? We'll pop
Right,
in some Nas. We'll pop in some, some spitters, and the
right.
females, they'd be in the car, and then they'd be acting like they bored. But pop in some Hammer or something that was real, they all in the passenger seat. You be like, oh, okay, I get it,
You
right?
just want to dance. You just want to
Yeah,
you just
they
want
just
to
want
dance.
to dance. They just want to move something,
They're not
right?
used to this. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, so now you got mumble rap that came.
Hmm.
Females didn't know what the hell they were saying, but guess what? The beat was banging, the beat was catchy, the beat was
Hmm.
bouncy, and that
Hmm.
was good enough for them because they don't care. A lot of females don't care about lyrics. Let's just keep
They're
it
not paying attention.
100, homie.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care about lyrics. They don't care about style. They don't care
Right.
about flow. They don't care about none of that. If the beat can make them move their ass,
Yeah,
they good,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So a lot of the music these days is beat driven. I mean, like long as the beat is catchy and keep and make you move, and the hook is catchy enough to keep like burning your brain and remember. That's all. That is the ingredients for a hit in
I can agree to that.
2025, bro.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that. I'm gonna say, uh, what lowered the barrier of entry to allow that to happen?
The internet.
Do you think it was just
I
purely the
think.
internet?
Yeah, I think the internet. I think influencers. I think because I think females have way more power than they think, right? Like, because if a female can get on there and she a little cutie pie. She got a little rump on her. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And she could pop on the beat and go on and shake what her mama gave her, homie. A cat's
Mhm.
gonna tune in, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and people gonna tune in. And then now you got, the TikTok phase where, the past 4, 5, 6 years, you find your little song with a nice little beat, you make you a little dance step to it. Now everybody and their mama doing that dance step, that's catching on, right?
mhm. Right,
So
right.
I just think that the internet is just so influential, homie, when it comes to what a hit is these days, whether the criteria is off.
Sure, sure. I can get that. I can get that. I was gonna say technology, but the internet technically is technology.
Technically, it's about the
When,
same. Yeah,
right,
same
but
thing.
once the interfaces start becoming $200-300, and the programs was $400, you know what I mean? Like when you even now
Yeah,
subscription based, um,
yeah,
anybody can go grab and get a setup for under a grand, maybe even
yeah.
$500 if you know what you're doing, and
That right.
get a fairly decent setup going, um, to start projecting your craft out. The
That
thing
the
about my generation was the equipment was still expensive, so you would
Yes,
have to
sir.
hone your craft before you actually got a chance to display it because you didn't have I didn't have the resources to
Yeah.
just jump up and start creating. So if it was beats, I had to go play drums,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Yeah.
if it was rapping, didn't have nothing to record, so nigga was just walking through the house writing verses or hooks and reciting stuff and memorizing and battling at school with the beatbox or banging on the table. So by the time the
Yeah.
studio happened or by the time I got the Boss beat machine, I was
Yeah.
fairly already in tune with what needed to happen. So the product was minimally already developed because I had been basically in the cave training before I even got my hands
Mm-hmm.
on the tool, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So therefore, by the time I got to even put something together and put it on a CD or a tape, it was moderately decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though
I
you
mean, because
look back
it
on that
goes
one,
back to what you're saying. We honed our craft. You
right,
honed your craft, bro. You
right,
see what I'm saying? You took it serious enough to hone your craft. Like this is
right,
something you wanted to do. So
right,
you took time to learn and that's what I'm saying, homie. Like you got to learn the basics. I don't care how young you are. I
right,
don't care. Learn the base. You still got to learn the fundamentals of music, bro. You still got to have some type of music theory
right.
to understand what it is to keep
Yeah,
to keep it going.
yeah, yeah. I agree to that. I agree to that. And now I think that's kind of just being bypassed or not bypassed. You're getting in and the barrier entry is there. You just jump in, start putting stuff out, and
Yeah,
then you learn all of those things as you continue to grow. So
yeah,
if we use like a Soldier Boy, his first songs were like they weren't that great, but they were catchy. And then he kind of
hmm,
hacked the system using LimeWire to where people started getting his downloads, thinking it was something else. So then he
yeah,
was giving his song to everybody for free, and then it caught on, right? And
yeah,
so I think now maybe he might have a different uh, creation style. He understands music differently because he's been
yes,
creating
sir.
music so long, right? So now he has that information, but it took him that long. So he lived out his honing his craft in real time, publicly, is what I'm saying,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Whereas by the time you get to a public face from my generation and maybe even your generation as well, you have some of that skill set already developed by the time you show up because you've been honing. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
almost like
yeah,
I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying like they living it out in real time versus us building up to a certain level and then present and then
yeah.
learning from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it goes back to what you said, brother. You hit it on the head. It's technology too, right? Because, like you said, if you wanted drums, you either had to go sample some drums, like, but that took 25, 26, $2,800 to buy a
Right,
sample
right,
drum machine that
right,
sampled, right? And if you didn't have the money for that, then you had to go figure out a way to, school was free. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
Every school had band,
right,
right?
right, right,
So
right.
you would go take a music class
Yep,
and learn how to play drums.
right.
Or if whatever your sound was, if you liked how guitars was, you would
Hmm.
learn how to play the guitar, right? So it took you had to hone your skill to get to where you wanted to go. These
True.
days, homie, it's there. It's there.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
go on YouTube and
yeah.
get royalty free beats and
Right.
rap, and you ain't even got to worry about who the producer was, how he produced it, what he
Mhm,
produced it on,
mhm.
how's the sound. You don't care because it's there. You like, you know what? I rap. I need a beat. Let me go
Yep,
on
yep,
YouTube. Oh,
yep,
this is cool. Let
yeah.
me download it and let me
Mhm.
rap to it. And
Right.
then do some silly, do some antics on the internet, and
Mhm.
I'm good.
And I'm on now.
Yeah, that part.
So yeah. So I'm very much excited about us getting back to cherishing the art and valuing the art. I
Me
think
too,
that's
bro.
where it's headed. I think once again, not to diss any other regions, but I think once again the West Coast is ushering in a
Yes, sir.
change.
Yes, sir. We are,
It just
bro.
happened. It
We are.
just happened the way it happened. It ain't no diss to nobody else. I think we mess with the South. I think we mess with New York.
Yes,
It
sir.
just so happened to be us once again to usher in this change, and I look forward to the future, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, West Coast always been music based anyway, right? We
Sure.
always been.
Yeah, we
It's
brought
always
that
been
far.
about the music with
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today's show. D, you want to plug them? Plug your stuff, man. Make sure they know where you at. Make sure they can find you, grab you. Oh, and plug your stuff. Plug your latest drop, man, because I think the world needs to know, brother.
Let's get it there, brother. Yeah. Well, I got a couple projects out right now currently. One is called Loud Silence. It's adult contemporary hip hop. You know, if you don't know what that is or you can't fathom what that is, I suggest you go to your favorite streaming site and check out Dazzie D Loud Silence, right?
A treat.
Uh,
It's a treat.
yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Got a little bit of everything. It's grown
Yeah,
folks music. It really
absolutely.
is. It's grown
Yeah,
folks music. So if
yeah.
you're into that, check that out. I did an instrumental version for the cats that just want to kick back and cruise and vibe, or females that want to vibe out. That version is for y'all as well. I just dropped a remix, visuals to a remix called Hustle Man Remix with me
Yeah,
and
that's
my
fire.
rhyme partner. Thank you, sir. Dow
Yeah,
Poeta.
yeah.
It's Dazzy D featuring Dow Poeta, Hustle Man remix. The
Hmm.
video is out as well as the song, so you can go check that out. I'm pretty proud of that. I just dropped that a couple days ago, so check that out. I got a new record I'm about to drop as well on the 16th, because the first single was called Facts Not Feelings. I did a whole deluxe EP around that song, so there's like four different, it's like a remix, and it's with my homegirl Shay Simone, man. It got that Anita
You know,
Baker
yep.
vibe going on. Once again, some grown folks music. So if you're into that, go be waiting for it to drop on the 16th. And then I'm back on my hip hop. I got another record drop. I'm working, Don Dub, baby.
I
I'm
know.
working.
Yeah,
Homie.
that's what I said. You one of the cats out
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
I'm just trying
yeah.
to
I got another record. I'm
light on
shooting a
it, man.
video for that Sunday, which is called The Realness. So yeah, just be on the lookout for my music, man. Don
Good.
Dub got some music coming. We
Yeah,
coming. Now, as
yeah.
far as how to get at me, you can get at me on Instagram, Dazzie D, Dazzie, Dazzie Same thing with TikTok, OG Dazzy D. Same thing with X,
Hmm.
Dazzy D OG. Facebook a little different. Just look up Dazzy D Williams. I'm on there a lot clowning. So besides music, we got a whole lot of stuff going on Facebook. We keep it clowning. I consider that my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I got some stuff going. Oh, and you can also go to my website, www.dazzyd.com.
Dope, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You can find me at the Real Don Dub on IG. I got some stuff coming, but I ain't gonna release it yet because I got to put it together. I got to shine it all up, buff it,
Yeah,
wax
yeah.
it, get it going.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, for everybody following us, welcome to the team. Trust me, I'm on Dub here. Dub got some slaps coming, man. He got to
yeah,
let him go, homie.
gotta
You
let
got
him
to
go,
bust,
man.
homie.
Yeah, yeah. You be telling me all the time, let him go, man. I'm gonna let
Let
him
him
go
go,
this year. I'm
homie.
gonna let him go this summer, man. I appreciate
I
the
appreciate
encouragement and
you. Homie.
support, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for doing this, man. I think it's gonna be dope, man. Y'all stay locked in for the next one. We coming right back at you next Friday. We go live every third Friday. We will always let you know when that is. But please, subscribe so you stay in tune with us, man. This is West Wit It TV with your boy Don Dub and Dazzy D. Um,
West with it.
y'all be blessed, man. Peace.